for some of you maybe is obvious. For some other people maybe they need a little bit of courage that can give maybe this video to actually cope with these moments. And if you think that there are people out there that they don't care or they don't feel the same thing, is wrong. It's just that they fake to, don't care about the moments of sadness because they try to fill that moment with something else, with more excitement, with more work. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Live for Wonders. Today's topic is sadness. I take inspiration for this video from one of the days that I had the last week. Unfortunately, one day was quite sad. It wasn't, it didn't happen anything really big or huge. But there are certain things in your life that you give priorities, that you maybe give a lot of energy to keep going because is a tough pathway or whatsoever, and seems like things get worse. American people usually says that the more you get worse, the better will be after, because you surely are on the right pathway. I have to say, guys, be real, don't be dreamy. Depends from the things that you do. If you really feel like something is your life, then keep going. But if you are trying something new, don't give for granted that the first obstacle that you got and the second and the third are just part of the game, because maybe they are not. You need to use your brain to define actually if they are part of the game or not. In my case, let's say that was part of my pathway, of my game. It was very hard to actually accept it, because it was something related to a friend as well, and I felt like I received a message from him saying some words that I really didn't like, and he was honest. At least he was honest, so I can't blame him. It's just that sometimes we get sad because we project our passion, but also our, let's say, hope in someone or something that maybe don't work, or maybe that can change in the future, okay? My aim with this video and with this podcast, because I always keep forgetting that it's a podcast as well, but for me it's very natural to speak on the camera, in front of the camera, so even having a podcast for me, it's fine. It's just fine. So basically, today I wanted to just explore this thing about sadness. Why a lifestyle coach like me has to be sad? Because I live my emotions. Because it's my decision, but it's the correct decision actually to live your emotion even when you have other stuff to do. For instance, I'm very busy this time of my life, and producing a lot of things, creating things, creating even projects like this, like Live for Wonders. For me is a huge project that I invested a lot of time, and I really want to see it grow, and I know that will be growing because it's like it works. It's how it works. Actually, the web. So it needs time, it needs people that meet you, that know you, that the more you talk about things that you're passionate about, and the more people understand what you're talking about and what is your niche. But coming back to the fact that I decided, because I think it's a good thing to live your emotions, to don't hide when I'm sad. Instead, I use the sadness as a kind of an alert that maybe something that I gave for granted in my life need to be adjusted, not changed, not necessarily, but maybe adjusted. And that is my personal approach And it worked because I've seen that actually I can't blame myself for how I reacted or what I said or what I thought. This is me, so I need to accept myself. There's no way that I can do anything else. As a culture, Italian culture, we tend to give guilt to someone else or something else. I prefer to give, to say that it's not a question of guilt, it's not a question of responsibility, it's a question of things happening. In the case that you are a spiritual being as well as I feel I am, and you believe that exists someone else, something else, that created us, that actually gave us the chance to live this particular moment in our history, in our soul history, to actually have a human experience. You probably will say that is part of the game, that sadness is part of the life. Yes, it's part of the life, but I think we sometimes focus too much on that and less on the things that we can obtain. I have very clear this concept in my mind because so many decisions I've taken in my life have been taken thanks to mistakes. I did my school, my secondary school by mistake, because of mistake. I choose my high school by mistake, and thanks to a mistake that I made with a person that now I simply got rid of, I started my journey in the university, and that's it. And if I look back, I can see that my life was always a kind of a pattern, and I can understand that when I feel confused, when I lose the control of my life, is the moment where everything's come out. Probably because of the divinity that I believe in, or probably maybe because the life works like this, I don't know. But as soon as I lose the control, and I'm aware that in that specific moment maybe I lose control of things, everything comes to me like a magnet, literally. And everything I dreamt about, everything I wanted is there, waiting for me, waiting for being grabbed from me, by my hands. And this is one of those times for me. And what about you then? Why you should listen my problems? Because these actually give me the chance to tell you a couple of things that I learned in the past. And one is that sometimes losing control is the only way that we have in our life to adjust our pathway, to adjust our things, and leave the things live, literally. So sometimes we got the moment of control where we try to control everything, and that is actually a constriction for what can come next. And we don't give much credibility of, the unknown, because we want to plan everything, we want to know everything. That is not always true, that is not always the right path, the right decision to make, the right things to do. You need sometimes to just get rid of yourself for some time. It depends how much. Let's say it depends from the things that are coming up to the surface from the bottom of the ocean of your subconscious, and let them settle down. That is the right amount of time that you get confused, that you get lost. Sometimes, and this is the second thing that I want to tell you, sometimes even when you feel low, when you feel depressed, when you feel sad, leave those feelings live a little bit inside you, because the more you got them, the more you can manage this. I'm not saying that you have to be depressed forever. It's just a question of being aware that you're depressed, and maybe asking to a specialist, asking to someone that can help you. If you are sad, being aware that you're sad and trying to understand why. This is what I did. I did when I received that message, that phone call from my friend. And I tried to understand what was going on in me, and there I found the answer. And maybe sometimes, yes, you don't like the answer that you give yourself, but that's fair enough. That's fair enough. It's part of the life. And for some of you, maybe it's obvious. For some other people, maybe they need a little bit of courage that can give maybe this video to actually cope with these moments. And if you think that there are people out there that they don't care or they don't feel the same thing, is wrong. It's just that they fake to, don't care about the moments of sadness, because they try to fill that moment with something else, with more excitement, with more work. And this is wrong. You will find yourself at a certain point in your life that you look back and you see, okay, splendid career or maybe splendid friendship, and then now what? I can't manage a refuse, I can't manage things going wrong. And the more you get older, the more it's possible that things goes wrong. It's not said, of course, it can be, but maybe not, we hope, right? But you need to be prepared mentally for what is the life. Sometimes you find difficult to accept a rejection. You find difficult to accept maybe someone that gives you a bad news, like happened to me, or you find difficult to actually accept the others for what they are. This is part of the game, but you can actually manage to do so. And again, ask yourself if you are doing well with them or you are just ignoring, because ignoring is not solving the problem, is not embrace the things, it's just putting them apart on a side in an angle, and sooner or later they will come back. It's just, if you want a parallel about that, it's like in Stranger Things, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you how it ends the last season that we saw, the fourth. It's like, you put that demon in another dimension, you forget about it, and then that's fine. Everything's solved. But no, because it's coming back and stronger than before. Coming back for you. Coming back for taking everything that he could, or she could, or it could from you. Okay, so don't be like, don't be like one of those that snapping the finger, everything will be fine. It's not like that. Even though you're saying to the others and to yourself that it's not like that, but ask yourself if you really act as a person that actually try to follow the feelings, try to accept, embrace the moment instead of putting aside, because lots of people will discover that they are doing exactly this mistake. So this is it for today. If you liked my video, don't forget to to push the like button down there, and to follow and to press the bell. And again, comment. Leave a comment down below. That box is so empty sometimes that is really frustrating. It's impossible that if you watch one of my videos, you don't want to leave a comment down there, because surely there will be something that you want to ask or you want to know. So leave a comment down there. And I tell you, even if you're listening to the podcast, there are boxes on Spotify, on Apple Podcast and Google Podcast where you can leave comment, review and everything. Do that, please, because it helps not only me to give you an answer, but also other people that are listening or reading to have an answer as well. Now, with this, I want to end this video. I wish you all the best. Don't forget to live for wonders, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.